Hi, so I'm going to talk about the first kind of little game I started with. So let's get into something. My wife wanted to pay some random person to build a little game so that her and her friends could play during a online baby shower. And I was like, well, hey, I'll just make the game for you. It shouldn't be that hard. What do you want? And so she had this idea of a game similar to something from Ape Escape. I don't know what she was talking about, but I was like, yeah, I can make it, whatever. She's like, oh, I want it to be themed based around the baby shower, so like 2D retro pixel stuff and baby related stuff. I'm like, cool, cool. What else do you want to have? She's like, well, I want to have the parents in the game. I'm like, okay, cool. We can find some pixel art. We can make some pixel characters. What else do you want? I don't know. Can you help me? I'm like, sure. So we brainstorm and we come up with a couple ideas. I get a prototype going, so it's kind of like almost like a Bulletstorm game. And I'm like, okay, cool, this works. What are we gonna have? So first thing that came to mind for me was like, well, babies and babies pooping. So I was like, okay, let's have swarm of babies, and you got to dodge their poop, and you got to somehow get rid of the babies. So I was like, oh, you give them hearts, kisses. They're gonna be happy, and they're gonna be, they're not gonna poop on you anymore. Cool. So that was one level. Then I was like, oh, what else is there involved with being a parent? Well, baby proofing. So it's like, oh, okay, how about you shoot outlet covers and you got to cover the outlets and not get hit by sparks that come out. Cool. So that was another level. And my wife was like, hey, it really sucks is people giving you unsolicited advice about being a parent. I'm like, oh, okay, so we'll do something where people are giving you advice and there'll be speech bubbles and maybe you have to dodge them. I'm like, okay, cool. So we put that in. And then last but not least, my wife was like, oh, I want a boss in space and I want to shoot fireballs. And I'm like, wow, that just diverted completely off the rails from what we were originally talking about, but okay, cool. So I was like, okay, what do we want to do? So it's like, okay, we can have like a diaper and it could be like a spaceship. And so I did some pretty janky pixel art of a diaper and it didn't look good. It actually looked like something alien. Um, and then I was playing with the code a little bit, and I realized, oh, what if it scales? What if it gets bigger? And so I was like, oh yeah, I really like that idea. It should just get bigger and bigger and bigger as you shoot it. I'm like, okay, cool. So I wrote a little bit of a script to it. It grows in size based on getting hit. Cool. She also wanted some sort of score because pretty much everyone who's participating in the baby shower would play the game, and whoever got the highest score would win a prize. I think it was like a $25 gift card to Amazon. So did that. Hurdles, stuff that happened. So this game probably took about uh, 20, 24 hours, something like that. Not all done at once, kind of here and there. And I had some free time. I used Unity. Um, I used some assets that I found. I used a little bit of a framework I found off the Unity asset store to kind of get me started. And then I kind of went down. Found some pixel art, drew a couple things here and there. Um, Probably the biggest thing that was great was actually finishing a project. Finishing a project really kind of had some satisfaction. It was a little bit close, and unfortunately, the biggest mistake was that, interestingly enough, when we did the baby shower, some people couldn't play it because people were on other devices that weren't PCs. They were on their phones or Mac products. So I didn't have a build for that, and people were downloading off of itch.io. And so some people didn't get to play. So that really sucked. I felt bad for those people. And originally I was like, oh, I'll make like an online leaderboard. But then it involved having hosting and some sort of server. So I was like, scrap that. Just tell us what your high score was. So people start playing it. And I even got my mother-in-law to play it, which was actually really funny because she doesn't do anything computers. Um, but then what happened was I forgot to do something in the code, and that was reset the score every time you died or started a game again. So what was happening is people seemed to be just getting better and better high scores. And it was a little bit too late. I couldn't do the fix on the fly because it was kind of in the middle of the baby shower. So I fixed it, so the current version doesn't have that issue, but it was just a funny little thing. You realize, you make a game, you run it, you play it, you're like, oh, everything seems like it's working. Cool. And you turn it off. You don't play it a couple times in a row without restarting the application. So that was a little thing I learned. So yeah, that's just some of the stuff that happened with my first kind of completed game in a long time. And we can look at the game a little bit here. So Parenthood, the video game, first level. So you click and drag, you move the character around to dodge the speed bubbles. It gets pretty crazy after a while. You got to pick up stuff to get some extra points. And you just keep dodging. Next one is baby proofing. So your Pat, you got to shoot the outlet covers. They're going to always be coming in the kind of same direction. And you got to watch out for sparks. After you have the sad babies, so you got to give the babies some love and watch out for their poop. They spawn continuous, they keep spawning, so you'll get more and more babies coming. This level can get a little bit crazy, but there's some buffs. So coffee lets you shoot more, hearts lets you gain some life back. And you just gotta keep chugging away. Keep those babies happy. Lots and lots of love. Lots of love. Babies love love. And the last level is the diaper boss. So you're Pat in space, and you gotta try to wipe it clean. So you're shooting baby wipes. You can also take out the poop, but the poop shoots fireballs. Coffee again helps you do a little bit more. And every time you hit the boss gets bigger and bigger and bigger. And it gets really big near the end. The end screen, and then you go back to the main menu after you're done. And that's Parenthood, the video game. I'm super... I wasn't focused for most of that. Poop. Devlog 1.